Hello, I'm Dave Blumey, and today I'm hosting this show to convince you to come and to attend the Innovation Fair, which we held here in Simsbury on April 30th from 10 to 4 p.m. The show is a free event for children and adults, and it's going to be held at 3 different locations: at Simsbury High School, at the Simsbury Historical Society, and at the Simsbury Public Library. With me today representing those institutions are Elaine Lang, who's the president of the Historical Society, and Joan Nagy, who's representing the Simsbury Public Library. So let's talk about what's going to happen that day. So Elaine, could you start and tell us a little bit?
Yeah, this is our second year at the Historical Society participating in the townwide fair. It's the second year the fair has been townwide. We had a great experience last year. Hear from a lot of people, they're surprised that a historical society would be a main host of an innovation fair. It doesn't sound quite like it would line up, people learning about the past, looking forward. But really a big part of Simsbury's history has involved innovation, which is part of why the Innovation Fair started. We've had a lot of great inventions created by Simsbury residents, and we'll be highlighting some of that. We also are expanding on some of our existing exhibits, like our Innovations in Pedal Power exhibit, which is our very popular exhibit about bicycles. And we will be adding a new portion of that called Everyone Rides, which will be about adaptive technology that opens up cycling to people who may not otherwise be able to conventionally ride a bike. We're also adding innovations in stick design, which seems startling at first, but actually we'll be looking at a lot of the materials and design innovations that have happened in lacrosse sticks and fishing poles over the years. Both very popular hobbies with a lot of people.
Lacrosse sticks and fishing poles.
Yes, they're sticks. So that's we'll be launching that. We will be having our innovation in games. Our life-size lightning rod chess set will be on the green. We debuted that life-size chess game last year, and it was very popular.
I remember a lot of kids enjoyed sort of saying, move that piece there.
Yeah, we had a couple kids that really dominated and enjoyed trouncing all the adults that were playing. But that was a really fun thing last year, so we're really happy to bring that back again. And we're also going to have a volleyball court talking about changes in the sport of volleyball. We're also going to be hosting a number of local artists and artisans. We're going to have the flower carpet that Al D'Agosto does set up again in our carriage house.
And by the way, that flower carpet, as it was done last year, will be done in each of the 3 locations.
Oh.
So in addition to the Historical Society, it will be at the library. There will be a different one at the library and yet a different one at Simsbury High School.
So that's great. That one will be a lot of places. That's fantastic. Local potter Vicente Garcia will be showing off some of his work, and there's always new techniques and new elements to explore in his art form, so it's going to be really neat to get to see that. Steph Toscano is going to be showing off innovations in furniture design in our barn, and we also have Bob Serio showing us innovations in sound design. A lot of the high-tech music and sound production equipment that he works with will be on display, as well as some of the history of innovations. We have an interesting collection of old record players and things like that we bring out to show the progression through time. We will have some innovations in car design in our parking lot at the Historical Society, so going through vehicles through the years. Our theme this year is innovations by design, and Franz von Holthausen, who is one of the design leaders on the Tesla, is actually from Simsbury. So we have innovation in car design coming right from town, so that'll be really exciting. And finally, we will have a display up of our coming Martin Luther King Memorial design that will be on display, and hopefully they will be working on breaking ground on that in the near future.
Do you have room for everything at the Historical Society?
We have a lot going on. It's going to be a super busy day, but we're looking forward to it. It was a wonderful event last year, and we're constantly adding things from various public and private schools in town and from other organizations that just want to come and be a part of it. So it's really just a neat day all around town. It's nice to have all the different locations and bring people around. And
So innovation, past, present, and future.
indeed. And the nice thing about visiting the Historical Society location and the library location is we've got between our two locations, we've got lots of good places to eat when you get hungry for lunch.
Ah, yes. That was something last year people were happy to see.
We have these great restaurants in the middle of town. It's a great chance to come visit them, but walking between the Historical Society and the library. I recommend it.
Good point.
Good. Well,
Wow. I wish I could be in two places at one time.
I know.
I would love to go see that.
what's the library going to do, Joan?
Oh, well, we're going to be humming with activity and also have some exhibits. We're going to be literally humming with activity at some point in the day because we're going to have a drone demonstration. Jay Sotolano is going to do that.
Is that outside or inside?
It's going to be a little bit of both. It should be interesting. And we have things for all ages. The drone, one of the things they're doing with the drone is you're going to be able to use a flight simulator and a big screen so you know exactly what it's like to fly one of these Phantom drones. And they're going to be giving away, you have a chance to win your own drone if you're between the ages of 6 and 16. So also for all ages, we have Minecraft Open Play. You can pick materials and build it on a computer in sort of a multiplayer environment. And that's very popular, especially with the teens.
Oh, my grandkids love it.
I bet they do. Also, all ages, you can design a bookmark. We have new sewing machines at the library, 5 of them. And so ages 8 to adult can do that. And we'll have our 3D printer demonstrations, including our head of adult services, Susan Ray, built a 3D printer from a kit. So besides our regular 3D printer, we're going to demonstrate how the one from the kit works. So that should be great. For the teens, they can make LED bow ties and flowers using an LED light, a battery, and some paper. There's also a Lego Innovation Challenge. They build a Lego and it goes down a monorail and you're battling with other Legos. And if you don't like what it's doing or it's not working right, you innovate and recreate it. And that's being put on by a group called Engineering Imagination. He does a lot of homeschool students and teaches them engineering.
So this will be a competition with 2 different Lego creations running down at the same time. Okay.
That's the way I picture it
something
anyway.
Like the Cub Scouts with the Pinewood Derby.
Yeah, with Legos.
With
Yep.
Legos.
And for the little guys, they're bringing in a wind tunnel. So, you want to test different materials to see how it hovers in the tunnel. So if it's too light, it's going to go flying and everyone will have to, take cover. If it's too heavy, it's just going to fall in there. So the kids will be able to experiment on what works with the wind tunnel. Ernie Smith is bringing in another marble machine. Last year we had one and people just absolutely loved it. This is like a Rube Goldberg thing. And this one is musical. So I haven't seen this one yet, so I'm pretty excited to see that. That was really fun. The mini makerspace will be set up. That's something we have a lot of the time with magnets and gears and Lincoln Logs and things like that. Strawbee's structure is something you make with straws and these little connectors. And we're daring people to make a 12-sided geometrical shape. It's called a dodecahedron.
Dodecahedron.
I think I said it right.
Yeah, the big challenge is spell that.
Right. There's a Lego Mania universe. You're also challenging the kids to make a curious structure from another planet. The coding and STEM apps will be all loaded onto our iPads, and the kids can experiment with coding. And there's interactive Lego and Kiva building. Kivas are like sort of wooden Legos. It's kind of like flat Lincoln Logs or something, I understand. Okay. I've never actually used them myself.
Now, do these activities run all day long from 10 to 4?
They run at different times between 10 and 4, or okay. Mostly 10 and 3. And then from 10 to 3, there's going to be exhibits for adults upstairs. So we've collected, or we've invited a lot of local innovators to come and demonstrate what they're doing that's innovative. So, for example, Bill Selig Jewelry is using CAD, computer-aided design, to design their jewelry. And if you go to their new space there, which is in the building that used to have the laboratory in it, the Cannon building. You can see the beautiful things they've designed there. Brian Owens, you may have seen him in the Hartford Courant. He does salt art. He actually creates.
Oh, yeah, there was a picture in the Courant.
Yeah, he's from Simsbury originally,
Right.
and he's coming the weekend before it started because it's a 12-hour project. Then we'll rope it off, and people will have to come back to see how he finishes it. The engineering imagination students are coming to show us what they've done with reverse engineering, where you take objects like hair dryers, keyboards, RC cars, and you take them apart, and then you either repurpose them or you innovate and make them into something else. Ensign Bickford is going to bring some of their innovative products to show us. Harry Cook, he makes wooden models. He's amazing wooden models, and he's using something for the first time from the 3D printer to put on one of his wooden models. So I'm waiting to see what he does with that. You also may have read in the Current about Hartford High's Academy of Engineering and Green Technology. They created an electricity source for a village in Nepal. So they're going to be at a robotics competition, but they're going to bring us something so visual so people can see what they did. Carl Lund is another artist from Simsbury, and he uses models in his paintings. His paintings were recently shown at the New Britain Museum of Art. So he's going to show us how he uses those models. It reminded me of the I Spy books, where you take all these little things and make it, but he makes it into a painting. Phase Zero Design is in Simsbury. They're going to show us their innovative architectural designs. Rick Lynch is a Simsbury resident who he uses a drone to take pictures of old buildings or historic buildings in Simsbury, and then he uses a 3D printer to make those into models.
I saw the one that he did of the Simsbury Library.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very well done.
So he's going to exhibit some of those. SCTV is going to be here, and or be there. They're going to show how Raspberry Pi plays recorded video onto cable systems like Comcast. The Historical Society is going to be, they have a permanent case in our library on the second floor, and they're going to be doing a little thing. Joe Boot is doing innovation past, present, and future in the display case. And finally, WearSafe. I read about them in the paper too. There's a couple of guys who they invented this thing that goes on your cell phone. So if you're in danger, some kind of danger, you just push one button. It alerts all your friends and relatives and the police and everybody. And I think it gives your GPS coordinates too. So if you're being attacked or if you're in trouble in some way, everybody you know is going to know about it like instantly. So anyway, they're going to be there to show us how that works.
I want to see how they demonstrate that.
I know.
We'll have the police showing up and the fire department.
Right. Yeah. So those are the things we have, and I'm very excited about it. I just love the Innovation Fair. I think it's just such a great thing because you never know all the innovation that's around you and all the creativity. It
is amazing how much there is in our community.
Yeah,
exactly. And being able to bring it in one day of a weekend and then be able to show it. I mean, all the things that are there at the Historical Society.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you a few things about what's going to be at the high school.
But if I may interrupt, this
sure.
is a lot to keep track of, but I believe the program and the schedule is available at SimsburyIdeas.com.
Yes, SimsburyIdeas.com.
And our Twitter feed, we have a Twitter feed and an Instagram. It's all themed around Simsbury Ideas. So check that out. And
there'll be a map
keep you posted that way.
and the full schedule of all the events and all the activities that are taking place will be on that particular website.
We'll also have these available very soon.
Yeah. And we encourage anybody attending who's using social media also to tag Simsbury Ideas in your pictures so that the whole community can see what each other's doing, because it is hard for us to be in two places at once.
Right.
After all that you've covered, I'm going to add some more things that are going to be done at the high school. Now, the high school will be the location for a keynote speaker. And so a gentleman whose name is Jake Fisher from Consumer Reports. And Mr. Fisher is in charge of the automotive section of Consumer Reports. So he's going to talk about innovation in automobiles. And we can all agree there has been a tremendous amount of change, particularly over the last few years in automobiles. So he is the keynote speaker starting things off at 10 o'clock at the high school. But in addition at the high school, they're going to be having the biomedical science capstone course which will have sensors for the attendees to check their vitals. So these sensors that will check my blood pressure and things like that. And then the use of technology in art and design products by the multimedia class. The engineering, design, and development course will have Electrathon cars demonstration. I don't know what that is, but maybe you do.
I think that might be the electric cars. We had some engineering students demonstrating their electric cars last year, I believe. So.
Right, and that is, they're not full-size, but they're nearly full-size electric cars completely powered by electricity, and the high school students are in a competition on a nationwide basis. Wow. The robotics teams from both Simsbury High School and Ethel Walker will be there demonstrating their latest robotics creations. The kids from Henry James will be there with their makerspace project with Little Bits and their student projects that they have made. So they'll be showing off the things that they've done. The computer science program at the high school will show some apps for smartphones. And the aerospace and engineering, they will be showing a wind tunnel and 3D printers, much like the high school has. And then there will be automotive student work on display, that the students have worked on the automobiles. And there's food. The culinary arts students are going to have some small breakfast pastries available in the morning. So there is going to be a lot going on April 30th. Let me add a couple things to that very quickly. That same day, there's a program that the local Simsbury Bicycle Group has, the National Bike Challenge, which is an attempt to get 100,000 people to ride 70 million miles in 5 months. Whoa. And so in Simsbury, and by the way, Simsbury finished 4th in this competition last year. Oh my God. So we're hoping to do better this year. So that will be the kickoff day for the National Bike Challenge. Then down at Simsbury Meadows, down on Iron Horse, will be the Simsbury Flea and Smorgasbord, which is an upscale flea market with antiques, with arts and crafts, with music, and food. So in addition to the restaurants locally, there'll be food vendors down at Iron Horse showing those things off. And the music, they've got the Kerry Johnson Band, Belkin Brothers, Hannah Felds. So there's a lot going on that day. So the purpose of our program today is to convince you to come see Simsbury and all the innovation that has taken place in the past, innovation that's taking place today, and some of the future things. There's a lot of things that will catch your children's imagination. So that day is going to be an exciting day to see a lot of different things within Simsbury. So we can just encourage you to come. So it's April 30th from 10 till 4, and 3 different locations: the Historical Society, the library, and Simsbury High School. And it begins at 10 o'clock with a keynote talk at the high school. So any final words, ladies?
No, I look forward to it. I hope we have a really nice weather again this year, because it's going to be a great day to get out and enjoy being in Simsbury.
The weather is always a key item. Last year we had sparkling clear weather.
Well,
let's hope we have the same thing this time.
I just want to say that I think Simsbury is just a great place to live. I mean, this kind of thing is it's amazing.
Well, it is. And a number of citizens have come together and are saying, we need to highlight some of the innovation that has taken place and is taking place here in Simsbury all the time. So this is a chance to show that off, and frankly, it's a free event, free for our children and adults, and so you can come and enjoy and see all these different activities, and it's a very close venue to be able to come and see everything together. So
I'd like to, if we still have a little time left,
please do.
Just talk about our Innovators Workshop Makerspace at the library. We continue to expand it. A couple of years ago, when we got our 3D printer, that was all we had. But we've added quite a few things. We've used our donations, and we've also leveraged funding that we've had to allow us to expand it with, as I mentioned, the sewing machines. Sewing machines are regular and also digital for embroidery. A cry-cut machine, which you can use for laser cutting of fabrics and vinyl and paper. And coming soon, we have a machine that's going to convert VHS or slides or negatives to a DVD.
Oh.
So you know all those VHS tests.
People will be lined up. People will be lined up to do that.
Yeah,
a
so
reservation system for that.
Right. And we already have the 3D printer, the digital scanner. We have the 8th graders use Scratch for digital drawing. Tinkercad, the children use to design objects online and print them as in 3D. And Thingiverse allows people to customize things that are on the, and then make them on the 3D printer. And the great thing about the workshop, Innovators Workshop Makerspace, is that it's multi-generational. It's really for all ages, and it's doing something that is very difficult to do in a library, which is to attract men to come to the library. Right. That's one of those underserved populations at libraries, and we're very thrilled that we have something finally that makes them want to come in.
I think men are looking for the hands-on kinds of things, and that's what you're describing.
Yeah.
Some things where you can do things. You can actually create things and use your hands to be able to do that. Right.
And we are also using, for some of our classes, we use our local talent to people with certain talents. We put on quite a few classes in that series. Like we had Pysanka egg making. Some of these were not volunteers, but
that's the Lithuanian, Ukrainian eggs.
Yeah. We did that, and we've done pie and cake making. Tom Centino over at the high school has helped us with that. Holiday card making and potpourri. That was Tom Mack. He's over at that new shop in the garden and through the house and in the garden.
Into the house and through the garden. Poor Tom. Yeah. I always get I get his prepositions mixed up, but it is a wonderful shop.
People love him. And let's see, holiday bow making, painting classes, sewing classes, 3D Thursday, which is instructions for all ages. There's often a line for that. We're going to be having a reverse engineering class coming up. People have donated their old CPUs, and they're going to teach you to take them apart and see how things work. And
that'll get them in. That'll
get them in. And so we collaborate with the Senior Center, with the high school, and the Historical Society, and we're very excited about all of this. So we hope people will come in and take part in these events.
And I know that the Historical Society has really done a great job this past year with upgrading a number of the exhibits and things you have. You mentioned the pedal power one, but
yeah, we've just been kind of evolving some exhibits. It's been wonderful to have our permanent case in the library because we kind of switch back and forth. We'll have rotating exhibits in the Ellsworth Visitor Center that then make their way to the library, and we have been able to kind of bring fresh material out more regularly since that we've been working together. And that's a great thing about the Innovation Fair, and just I think about Simsbury in general, is we do have a lot of really great organizations doing a lot of wonderful community activities. And the Innovation Fair really gives us an extra opportunity to work together and not only show what we're doing individually, but to show what we can do together. And it is, as Joan was saying, it really does underline how wonderful it is to live in Simsbury, because you really get a feeling of the whole community working together to do all these really exciting, positive things. So it's a great day to underline that.
I know last year there were a lot of people showed up. I mean, I think the Historical Society had 400 or 500 people.
Yeah, I think that's what
we had about 400.
About 400 people at the library. There was about an equal number at the high school. So there were a lot of people last year. So this one's probably going to be, again, well attended. That's, again, if the weather is nice. So,
and even if it isn't, you can drive between venues. A lot of stuff is indoors, so don't let that deter you. If it's rainy, it's actually a great day to get out of the house and come inside at the high school or the library or in the historical
these activities
societies.
many of them, particularly the ones you've talked about, are hands-on activities that the kids can participate in. And that's, I think that's, kids don't want to just go and look at things. They want to get in there and do something.
They're not going to be bored, I'll tell you that much.
No, the worst is not being able to get it all in one day. So do check out SimsburyIdeas.com for the information about all the different things going on so you can plan your day and your visit to all of our great locations. That would be my number one advice.
Yeah, so that's, again, it's going to be on April 30th from 10 to 4. The three primary locations are the Simsbury High School, Simsbury Public Library, and the Simsbury Historical Society. It's a free event for adults and children with a tremendous number of different activities and hands-on types of things. So it's something that is for all generations. And so grab the kids and come on down. Food available at local restaurants and down at the Performing Arts Center, where there'll be a flea market and smorgasbord. And if you're so inclined, you can start at 9 o'clock on the Simsbury Bike Challenge and get a few miles in before the rest of
You can ride between the venues.
There you go.
There you go. Think
Ride
of all the
between-
mileage.
I think that makes a lot of
Think
sense.
of all the mileage you could rack up and take, our great bike lanes and bike trails and wear your helmet.
Well, if we were,
and
if we were fourth,
enjoy the day.
If we were fourth in the Bike Challenge nationwide last year, we get a head start
we
here. We'll
can
be in
step
first
it up,
place from the very
yes.
beginning.
Exactly.
That's the way to do it. All right. Ladies, thank you very much for coming and talking about this. And I know that we're all looking forward to seeing the Innovation Fair, and it's going to be Innovation by Design on April 30th. We'll see you at the Historical Society, the library, and the high school. Thank you very much.
Funding for Simsbury Community Television is provided in part by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.